Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Jakarta. Today, we are going to visit one of the legendary places in Jakarta, that is Jakarta History Museum. The Jakarta History Museum is located at Taman Fathahillah Street, number 1, West Jakarta. This museum is a museum that has a lot of history, and it was opened to the public in 1939. The Jakarta History Museum provides information about the long history of Jakarta, from prehistoric to the present in a more creative form. A part of that, it serves as a center for cultural meeting of various ethnic groups from both inside and outside Indonesia and the history of the city of Jakarta. The Jakarta History Museum also always tries to organize recreational activities so that it can attract the attention of visitors to know the history of the city of Jakarta and increase awareness to the importance of cultural heritage. To improve its performance and appearance since 1999, the Jakarta History Museum has determined to make this museum not just a place to care and for exhibit objects from colonial period, but it must be a place for all people to acknowledge and experience about the history of Jakarta and can be enjoyed as a place of recreation. This museum features the relics of the Dutch who lived in Batavia since the beginning of the 16th century. The collection consists of furniture, hall furniture, weapons, ceramics, maps, and books. And before we start our trip to the Jakarta History Museum, let me inform you about some of the safety rules and etiquette that we must obey. The first important thing is the safety. You must remain seated until we come to a full stop. And then I ask that you keep your hands inside the bus. And the next safety is visit the second floor. Buildings are limited in number. The number of tourists visiting the second floor of the museum is limited to around 700 people per visit. Because the age of the building is old, for the last safety is please stay with your group at all times. And the second thing is the rules. Eating and drinking are prohibited in the museum area. Visitors are allowed to bring food and drinking inside the museum building, but they are not allowed to eat in that area because it fears that it will be invite ants if food crumbs or liquid drinks fall. And then prohibited for making a crowd in the museum. Not allowed to swim the room. Visitors are not allowed to sit in the room or sit in the rest is provided in the back. The rules is enforced so that there is no disruption in the mobilization of visitors in and out of the museum room. Okay, for the last thing is the etiquette. We must be polite and not act casually in the museum, and we can make picture at museum but don't overdo or disrupt the other visitors. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there are some of the safety rules and etiquette that we must do for our convenient trips. Please enjoy our trip and have amazing traveling. Thank you very much for the attention given.